the doors. They're 27% wider, and we have only 3 doors compared to 4 doors on the previous trains. But because the doors are wider, we will be able to have six people at the same time going in and out of the train, compared to 4 previously. That will help a lot those trains to be more fluent. That way we can have trains stop for less time in the station, leave the station faster, and one train after the other we save time and we can add more train after the run.
Okay. Can you tell me about these lights on the side?
Yeah, absolutely. These lights will be there for the people who have problem with their hearing, because they can see if the light is green. It means that you can get in and get out of the train by the door. When the light will turn red, it will tell you stop, you cannot move, you cannot enter or get out. And when the light is kind of white, it means that the train is rolling. And when it's red, the door will close. At the same time, we have beeps, a sound, how can I say?
Signal.
Yeah. At the same time, we have a sound signal that will inform people with visual problems that the door will be closing, or everybody also that the door will be closing. Then stay off the door to make sure that you won't be caught in it, and that the train will be able to leave rapidly. We have, like in the other train, tripods, but those ones will be with better design. We have much more poles or place to hold when we walk in the train on the side, the top. Also on the seat, if you want to turn here, I'll show you. Here on every seat we have those steel arms that will help us for more comfort when we travel.
Somebody asked about straps. Yeah. Why we don't have straps that hang down. What went into the design of these poles?
The design was done to make sure that we had as many handles as possible, but that way, the ones that are the solid ones. And when we did test focus group with customers, packed the car with customers, and the conclusion was that we had enough poles to help for standing. And, but I have to say that in our old cars, the MR73 this fall, we will do a test with those straps, but this is only with the old cars. It's not planned actually in this.
The metal kind that you see in some cities, or actual straps?
We'll try both.
Like plastic and metal?
Plastic and metal. Also, the seats are designed, they've been chosen by the customer. And the design is much more comfortable. We have armrests on the side. And if you come to see at the back of the seat, there's room for the knees to help, again, for more space.
Focus groups, you said, also help design the chairs?
Everything, I think, in the train. The customer were questioned about many aspects because they tried the cars, but also the seats. We had I think it's 4 different type of seats, and we had here in Berri station an invitation to the customer, and we had hundreds of customers stopping by trying the 4 different seats, and they voted for a different seat, and this one obtained the biggest amount of votes.
And the armrest, what's the point of that? Does that kind of help you move the seats in a bit?
Absolutely, yeah. It gives us better space, because if you don't have the armrest, you will stop here, then you're a little bit stuck in it and you take this place for somebody. If you have the armrest, you can move and you save maybe 1 inch, but the customer on your left can also have more space, and the people standing have more comfortable space. Then this is a good issue of space.
And the number of seats, there are 2 fewer than on average?
On average, in this car here, we have a little bit few seats because of the 2 space for the wheelchair. But even though those spaces are designed for people to be able to stand comfortably on there, but in any other cars, on average on the train, we have 2 seats less in every car.
And why is that?
It's a question of design, to optimize the design. If we, with the concept that we have, if we added more seats, with the knees, we would use the place of people walking, and we would impair the fluidity of the train. then that was the ideal number of seats to have the maximum fluidity for the people in every station. Is the emergency braking system and the intercom system, then the communication system with the train driver. We don't have that as efficient in the old trains. For example, in the old trains, if I pull the emergency brake, the train operator will have to come and in this car and to look what's happening and rearm it, then go back in his car and the driving cabin and start the service. It can cause a delay of 10 minutes. At rush hour, 10 minutes is 5,000 people that will be delayed. With this new system, the train driver will use the camera that are in the ceiling, will see what's happening, will talk with the people, and if he can, for example, if somebody was sick and the person already left the train and somebody helped the person, he will be able to rearm it at distance and start back the service within 1 minute. Then we will save a lot of small delays using this kind of tools.
Okay.
We also have screens, LCD screens in the train. Those screens will be more for entertainment, but also for any disruption message that has to be sent to the customer. And also we will have the map of the metro. On each side of the train, we have other screens giving us the information about the next station, giving us the information about the bus lines, like in the actual train that we have on the line, the orange line. And these will be really transit information on those trains. Here also we have a place for a wheelchair. And we have that in our MR73 cars, the one that are on the orange line, but we don't have that in the old MR63 cars that we are replacing. And we'll have room for 2 chairs in each cabin car. And they have, people with wheelchair will have their intercom to be able to talk with the train operator or also the control center if needed. This ventilation system on those trains will be much more efficient than the one we had. Absolutely, yeah. It's all along the train, all along the car, in the middle of the train, and it will be, as I said, much more efficient than in the other train. But another issue that comes with ventilation is heat generation. Sometimes we say it's hot in the metro, and it's true. The old MR63. They produce a lot of heat. When they break, all the energy that is recuperated for braking is translated in heat in the old trains. In these trains, the energy will be recuperated and put back in the track for another train that accelerates in the network. That means much less heat will be produced with those trains, and the temperature again in the network will go down because of that.
And how much cooler will it be compared to the old trains in the train?
Again, I cannot give you how many degrees, but the temperature is for sure those trains, because of the regeneration of the braking system, they will generate much less heat than the old trains are generating. And because they will generate less heat, the temperature of the tunnel will be down. Then combined with the new ventilation system, the effect will be more important and we will feel a much cooler environment. But also we have to say that not only the trains, we're working a lot on all our ventilation systems in the metro to make sure to push the hot air out of the network.
One of the things that people asked when I asked what they wanted to know is air conditioning.
Yes.
Can you explain why the STM says it's impossible to do air conditioning?
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually, we're a very rare metro that is 100% underground. And when we use air conditioning, what we do is that we cool the inside of the train, for example, if it's a train. But if the air conditioning is on the top of the train, we will generate heat in the outside of the train. And because it's not 100% efficient, we will generate more heat outside than fresh inside. And the tunnel will become warmer. And our tunnels were not designed to evacuate that amount of heat of cooling of air conditioning systems. Then the heat will accumulate in the tunnel, and we'll have to, again, to refresh more, and it will be a circle. In 10 years from now, we would have invested $1 million, and we would $1 billion, and we would not have successfully cooled down the temperature of the network. Really, what we have to do is to reduce the heat generation by any means, and work very hard to evacuate it. And this is what we're doing. With this train, we will start to see a big difference. I had a question that was asked sometimes, yes, but other metros, there is other metros with air conditioning, but those metros have been designed to be able to put air conditioning, and most of those metros and all of those metros, they go, the metro cars go outside very often. Then, by doing that, you can just push the hot air generated by the air conditioning system outside of the network, what we cannot do here.
Because New York is quite old, and their new cars are air conditioned.
Yeah, absolutely, but they're going outside, and their stainless steel car under the sun, it's very, very hot. And also the fact they're going outside, they can evacuate the heat that is evacuable easily. The open concept, our train, they're 152 meters long, or if you want 500 feet, and the fact that the new train will have the open concept from one end to the other save us 10% capacity, gives us 10% more capacity. And with the same train, with the same level of comfort, we can transport 10% more people. That means with the same amount of train at rush hour, we have more capacity, and the comfort will be better for all the customers in the train. And also, those trains bring us more security, because when you have this type of open train, if there is any event that happened, like it happened a few years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago in Korea, there was a fire in a train, and that was not that type of train, and people were caught in there. But in Hong Kong, 2 years after that, they had the same event with open train like that, and people just moved far from the small fire, and nobody was injured in that event. Then it's a good gain also for security, that kind of open concept. In the old train, we had 6 cabins in every train, because we have 3 sets of 3 cars, and each set of 3 cars has 2 cabins. Here, these trains will have 9 cars with only 2 cabins at each end. Then all those equipment that we were traveling without using the space for customer we will use the space for customer right now. And also, this is another important thing, that between the car actually there is the open space when we come from the outside. Then once every 2 years, maybe we have somebody falling between the cars, and it's a dangerous situation. We tried a lot of tools to solve that, and the best tool will be the next train. You know, it's open concept, then it's a wall from one end to the other in the station, then no fall on the track. It's much more safe. Those cameras are there for operational purpose, and the train driver actually drives a train with 1% people in it, 500 feet long, and cannot see the people he's talking with when they use the intercom or when somebody is happening. Now with that, you will be able to see what's happening in his train and to react much more faster in any situations.
But it's also for security? Are they being recorded?
Also, those cameras will record, then yeah, for sure, for graffitis and etc. If the image will be there.
Do you have any measures in place to reduce the amount of graffiti and scratchity?
All the material that are used are there to help to reduce. We cannot prevent people to do that, but help to clean it faster and to bring it back to the good, nice original look.
Can you tell me a bit about the wooden brakes?
Wooden brakes, yeah, absolutely. We have something that is pretty unique in Montreal. We still use wooden brakes that are manufactured by our employees at the STM to brake the car, and they will be used in the new cars. And I have to say that those brakes, they cost probably 5 to 6 times less than if we buy composite brakes. They last 3 times longer, and they're very reliable. This is the one we're using since 45 years, and they do not deteriorate also the steel wheel that is used for the braking system. Then economically it's very good. It's also, they do not make any dust, composite dust. Then it's environmentally friendly, and it's you know, it's also our history. It's Quebec is made of you know, the history of Quebec came from the use of wood, and we can demonstrate that we can use wood with all those new technologies.
And they'll be used on these new trains.
They will be used on those new trains, absolutely. Okay, in 2013, summer 2013, we will, in 1 year from now, we will receive the first prototype train that will roll on the lines. We will test it in the garage, and after that we'll put it on the lines. And once it will be very well tested, it will go to during the hour of operation. Then customer will be able to see this train running on our tracks. And after that, the target is in the summer, beginning of fall 2014, we'll put train in service for customer. And after that, one train every month.
Until? And they'll all be delivered by when?
2018. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay.